Okay, so we're talking about the overhead press. Same thing applies as SDC. So safety part of it is that they have it high enough to where they're not crouching down. They're not putting too much pressure on their shoulders. It should be the same height as their squat. Okay, so overhead press, elbows in front of the bar. They unrack it first. That's the safety, right? We're over the hooks. If anything is wrong, they lean in, they put it down, they reset. The other safety is the re-racking. You have them walk towards the rack, clink, clink, hitting, scraping it down the rack. This way, no one is missing the rack. That's the big safety part of it. Stability. So next S is that we unrack. Same thing here, but we're kind of going from the feet up this time. So foot activated, full foot, full root. When it comes to overhead pressing, we don't want any lean on the foot forward, any heel pop, no toe pop. We want full stability of the foot there. Then we think about the abs, right? So we're finding that root here first. The root with this, same thing with the bench, is that glutes are flexed and the core is flexed together, zipping that up. Then we have stability of the upper back. So the shoulders are back, elbows are punching forward. We're finding pressure in the lat with the elbows high. So that is the stability part. We don't want this down. If so, then we're not stabilizing through the back. We're in the front part of the shoulders. Elbows drive up so we can feel that lat engagement. And the body is stable through the feet all the way to the top. Then we have that center line principle. Same thing applies here. That center line is the elbows. So to keep the bar close to your body, the wrists roll back and the elbows go forward. If we straighten the wrist, brings it away from our body. If we drop the elbow so that we can bring it close to our body, now the elbows are behind the bar, so we're avoiding that center line principle of keeping it in the lats and keeping it close to the body. Okay, so it's always easier to push through your back if your elbows are forward. So it's this interesting triangle that's happening with the center line principle there, right? Now we can shrug, we can put it overhead, and we can catch it in our lats instead of elbow down, wrist forward, only using the smallest little muscles to press overhead, catching it here in the front, reducing the range of motion in the back. And then yet again, we're going to have a very quick ceiling on strength there because these are very tiny muscles. We want to make sure that with that center line principle here, we apply it overhead, which is the head goes through, the shoulders squeeze back and down, and now the bar is over the center of my foot. It's not in the front of my foot, which is here. My head and my hips are counterbalancing so that my bar and my feet can be in line. Okay, so that is that center line principle there. So now we're talking about the control portion of the overhead press. So we're, safety, check, all those things. We're going to walk back, checklist, feet, abs and glutes, upper back engaged, center bar with the wrists back and the elbows forward. Then we're going to control that bar overhead. We don't want a lot of body English here, and control at the top. So the knuckles are towards the ceiling and we're control, have them hold for a moment. Wrists roll back, elbows punch forward, control on the way down. If we're finding tension and control, the bar is going to stop here. If we drop it, notice how my shoulders have rolled forward now and I've just dumped it into my rotator cuffs. That is not control of the bar. That's lack of control of the bar. So we want them to stop into their muscles, not into their joints. So we're controlling through the muscle. We go overhead. We have our range of motion behind our head, control and engage through the back part of the body. We control the elbows and the descent to stop right where we're loading into our muscles. Same here, that the lower back is not arching. We're not controlling or losing the control of the abs. We're engaged and control of the feet. So a big cue that you can give overhead for control is that your feet are activated at the same time that your knuckles activate so that people don't lose their heel. They usually will lose their heels and fall forward. So control through the entire body. Again, control over speed. Speed comes later.